What's up? BFL Show Week 12. We brought in the big guns to fill in for Mike this week. Mike had to go pick up some family at the airport, and we're so pumped to have the champ Drew join us. What's up, man?
Hey guys, glad to be here.
Yeah. Phil, how's it going in Las Vegas?
It's going. Yeah, we'll see.
All right, we'll see. Okay, good. Nice. And Rockford's going strong. Rockford just got $85 million richer now that Van Vliet signed his contract this week, I think.
Oh, nice.
I didn't catch the number, but it's up there. So anyway, living large here in Rockford. All right, BFL Show Week 12. It's a special week. Thanksgiving game coming up. Just a couple of memorable things. This is honestly probably one of the most memorable. I think this was 1998. Was a very memorable Thanksgiving performance that I witnessed. Look at this line: 3 catches, 163 yards, 3 touchdowns in the by the third quarter. Randy Moss, what an icon, what a superstar, huh?
Unreal.
Yeah, unreal. We got this guy, Leon Lett, happening. Will there be any entertainment like this tomorrow?
I highly doubt it.
Probably not. Yeah, the games are kind of a dud. Anyway, and then obviously the man, the myth, the legend. Miss this guy. I was saying kind of before we started, this is like the most pointless 10 minutes of a holiday every year, but it was awesome, and we don't have it anymore. So
he loved it. It's the way he sold it.
I'll be honest. I looked for you remember how he would take out his telestrator and circle all the legs and point arrows at stuff. I couldn't find the picture of that on the internet. I was really looking. So I think that was my favorite part. Turducken. All right, and his dumb bus, right? He never flew. He just rode the bus. Anyway, God, man, what a god. Rolling through here. Let's make this happen. Biggest blowout of the week. Mike's not here to give himself a pat on the back, but when you're approaching 600 points, it's pretty solid, huh?
The rich get richer.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I don't get up that high anymore. All right. Well, Drew, what happened? Usually this is you.
What?
Usually this is you in the biggest blowout, huh?
Rough week. Not a rough week. I won. So.
That's right, man. It's all good.
Yeah.
All right. Kicking awards. So apparently, the curse is back because I had Prater on the Zendejas side with 38 points, big donkey dick style, and then he's back to he went negative on me, so -3 for Matt Prater, and then look at Young Ho Koo, Phil.
At least I did something right this season.
So kind of
picked up the kicker off waivers. It was the best thing I did all year.
There you go. Cadillac, when are you going to show up on the Zendejas side? I think you're kind of proving the point of kickers being pointless. You're only up here once with on the bad side, but you're still rocking the team. So well done proving something.
This will be the week. Bucker will be on there.
Bucker, okay, good. Yep. I like my chances. I like my chances this week with my pickup today. I picked up Houston's kicker because I don't think Detroit's going to score a lot of points. With Stafford's thumb injury, Galladay's out again, and I think Watson's going to move the ball a lot. And so I like my chances. We might have to put a bet on that.
Didn't ESPN, who was it, who said kickers aren't football players this week?
100% agree. 100% agree. All right. Okay, Drew, here's your question. So we heard it last week, and me, Mike, and Phil kind of talked about it. This is coming at you. So a humanoid race of aliens has invaded Earth and challenge us to a game of football. If we win, they will leave us alone. If we lose, they will destroy our planet. Who is starting at running back for your team human?
Can I just go with the Rockford boy?
You're going to pick James Robinson?
Yep.
Woo!
Wow.
Nobody thought he would do anything. I'd take him.
Kind of the underdog story.
You know,
Well,
he's
here's
got
the
heart.
thing.
I
Because
want the guy with heart.
that's not terrible because Kamara his foot is dinged up. Derrick Henry doesn't even play 3 downs, and who knows if he can catch a pass. I'm okay with that.
If it goes to overtime, I have to agree with Mike because every time he gets the ball in overtime, he makes something happen.
That's true. We got to get it to overtime though, so we got to have a game plan that'll take these aliens to overtime, and then we can give the ball to Henry.
That's right.
James
Yeah.
Robinson
Good
didn't see
defense.
that one coming. Hey, honestly, how about Jonathan Taylor with the way he ran the ball against the Packers last week?
He looked good.
You got to
Maybe
say
that's what
that.
he needed in the backseat.
Yeah, you got to say that. Hopefully, our all-star team wouldn't hold as much as the Colts did, but you know,
Oh,
that was painful to watch.
I have not gotten that upset over a football game in a long time.
Can I bring something up, maybe controversial? And like, you guys are gonna lose respect for me probably when you say. Not that you had much before. Is Quentin Nelson overrated? And let me defend that. His franchise quarterback Andrew Luck had to go into retirement because he was getting beat up too much. And now like the Colts can't find just this like running game that's like consistent, I feel like. Throwing that out there.
I don't know.
Throwing that out there. He's a good player. Quentin Nelson's amazing, but I don't know.
How much did Mike pay you to say that?
Zero, dude. Zero. Here's the thing. I probably wouldn't have said it if Mike was here because Mike would be like laughing at me or like flipping me off or something or just hating me for saying that. He did not pay me. I think there's 37 teams in the world that would take Quentin Nelson over anybody they have on their offensive line. So I won't go that far.
I have a little texting group with him and Ryan, and it's been awfully quiet this week between us. So yeah.
I like.
Yeah, the Packers just didn't play the third quarter, so that was pretty brutal.
You guys started chirping at each other, and then Mike was like, "Guys, let's not do this here and now." Like that kind of ended it. All right. All right, moving it forward. So our standings, as they sit here, we're getting, guys, we're creeping closer to the playoffs, and some pictures are starting to like come together. Anybody, Phil, you want to give us a little update, or what do you think here? You want to do this now?
Yeah. So this is a little easier to put together this week with only 3 games left instead of 4. It really narrows the scenarios down. And then the schedule plays out easy the way our setup is, that every team, their 3 games left are their 3 divisional opponents. So it actually kind of simplified things a little bit. So I guess we start off in the artillery division up there. Pretty easy for Balls first. He's basically clinched a playoff spot. The only way he doesn't at least get the wild card is if he loses out and Withers wins out and makes up the 610 points he's behind him at the tiebreaker. So pretty much Balls first has officially got a playoff spot. He only needs 2 wins outright to win the division, or a win and a Cadillac Crew loss. So he actually could clinch the division this week with a win and a loss by Drew over here. Or just 2 more losses for Drew. Drew's got to be pretty perfect to win this division. So then that kind of goes into the scenarios for Drew. He's actually sitting in a really good spot too, though. He's in the catbird spot for at least for the wild card. 3 wins, he's got the wild card. So if he just takes care of the business and wins out, he's got that wild card. He could get the division, but he's going to have to beat Balls first and also have Balls first lose to one of those seller teams there. So I don't really like the chances of that. It's not really very likely. But yeah, even with 2 wins and maintaining his tiebreaker over Withers, he's got 520-point advantage on Withers. So it's pretty much locked up. Drew's just got to basically wins 2 games. He's going to end up being the wild card. Then, of course, Dirt Balls, they've been eliminated. White Thunder has been eliminated. So if we move into my division, the Cavalry division, Brigadiers is kind of in that same spot as Balls First. He's got it pretty much locked up. Just 2 more wins and he's a lock. Or he could clinch this week with a win and a Withers loss. So he's another guy who can clinch the division this week. Same thing, if Withers loses twice, it doesn't matter what he does. And then he, with a win this week, he pretty much has at least secured a playoff spot. If he wins this week, the only way he would not make the playoffs is if a friggin' miracle comes through. So basically he's locked in too. He's going to win that division most likely, but if he does somehow fall flat on his face, he just needs 1 win to end up in that spot for the wild card, because he does have that 1-game lead over Drew in that position. Then Withers, he's actually got a couple options despite a 7-4 record. 2 wins and 3 Brigadier losses gets him the division. Or 2 wins and 3 Brigadiers losses gives him the division, or 3 wins and 2 Brigadier losses gives him the division. So he would need help from me and Ben to make that happen. So he probably doesn't have a good chance, because I don't know how much help he's getting from the 2 of us. Then his wild card scenario, he could get the wild card with 3 wins, but he would need Drew to drop 2. Or there is a weird scenario, he gets that wild card with 2 wins, but Drew would have to lose all 3, and then individual 1 would also have to drop a game. Me, I'm out of the division, as I'm 4 games back with only 3 to play. I have an insane run to get to the wild card. It's not possible at all, basically, because I got to win all 3. Drew's got to lose all 3. I got to make up 850 points, and then there's a whole bunch of other help after that. So it's not possible. The Blizzard, they're already eliminated. So then we move down to the infantry division. We got Dom at 7-4 in that division. That's first place and looking good. Dom wins out. He's in 2 wins combined with just 1 loss by individual 1. He also gets the division. There's even a scenario with 1 win with some help. He actually still can lock off the division with only 8 wins. His wild card path is a lot harder because he's starting in the hole behind several teams there. But he actually could take the wild card with 2 wins and a bunch of help. You need Drew to lose 2 or 3 games, Withers to lose 1 or 2 games, and make up some points somewhere. Then individual 1, who we thought he was looking good last week because he had the tiebreaker, but now that all changed with his loss last week. So now he would have to – his easiest path, of course, is to win out. If he wins out, he's still going to win the division because he would end up beating Dom to do that, to take the tiebreaker. Otherwise, he could take the division with 2 wins and 2 losses by Dom. And actually, John, you play in there. You'd have to lose a game for that to play out as well. His wild card's not very likely, but there is a path, only 1 path, where he'd have to win 2 games and get 3 losses by Drew, make up 670 points, and then a bunch of other little help you would need. John, believe it or not, you're still alive in both. Not very likely in the wild card. You have the same problem I have. You would need to win 3 games, Drew to lose 3 games, but you don't have to make up as many points. You only got to make up 335 points and then get all the rest of the help for that wild card. But you do have a chance at the division. If you can win out, get all 3 wins. One of them would be against Dom already. You would need him to lose just 1 more against individual 1, or a miracle against Mustache. So you do have a route there. You could even get in with 2 wins, but you would need Dom to lose out, and you would need individual 1 to lose 2 of his 3 remaining games as well. So you're still alive, believe it or not. Then, of course, Mustache is eliminated.
Math. Nice job, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, that's a good rundown. What do you guys think? So I think Drew, you've talked about this, and Phil, what do you think about it? About 8 teams in the playoffs, or 6 teams, like sometime in the future, if we switch that up somehow?
So I was thinking about this yesterday because I was trying to figure out how to do it because it's tough with only one wild card, right? So if you fall behind in your division and there's another team that's doing really well, like Drew this year, who's not winning his division, but he's doing really well, you don't even have a crack at that wild card. So it does make it tough. So I was thinking about we could expend a 6 and have a bye, but then we got to move our playoffs up a week, and then not everybody would end up playing each other, and there's all kinds of different things. I think it's for a 12-team league, I think we actually have the perfect setup. Now, when the NFL goes to a 17-game season,
Yeah.
it would work. So NFL goes to a 17-game season, we could take 6 teams, give the top 2 a bye, and it would work.
I wouldn't be against that. I used to think like, dude, I don't play fantasy football to like have a bye week, but it would be okay. I think if we expanded the playoff teams, I still would like to incentivize winning the division somehow. So maybe like have money, maybe get money back if you're a division champion, something like that. But
Yeah, something like that.
So Drew, are you a
You
pro?
just be like me and win the division, finish last in the playoffs still.
You get something though. Are you pro 6 team, pro 8 team, or leave it as it is, Drew? What do you think?
I'm pro 16.
16?
Really. I think is
Go ahead.
Oh, I think is, I get what's the word is a lot of people in the league are good at fantasy. They know, this isn't some run of the mill league. It's tough to get in the playoffs with the amount of knowledge that's in this league, and it makes it even tougher with only 4 teams.
For sure. I wonder how that would affect like trading. Obviously, it would probably like you're in the hunt longer, so that would minimize trading. Or I don't know. I just don't know. I think something would change, and that might be cool. Whatever. But I still think like we'd want to incentivize like division winners though, if we did something like that. I feel like this year. Go ahead. Sorry.
I think definitely it makes our league stand out too as well with only 4 teams making the playoffs. It's give or take.
Yeah, it's like more elite.
Pros and cons.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely can't go to 8 in a 12-team league. That's 3/4 of the teams making the playoffs, going from a quarter of the teams making the playoffs. So. Yeah, 6 would work, especially if a 17-game NFL season comes to fruition next year or 2 years from now.
That's
whenever
so because. So I'm. Go ahead. Yeah.
What about 5 teams? Would that be possible? One team has a bye, maybe.
So
that'd be 3 teams are going to bye.
Yeah.
Yes, you could do that.
You have 5 teams, buy, and they'd be like it'd be a play-in game. It'd be a play-in game for the fourth spot, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. So the division winners would all get a bye.
That would definitely be unique. That'd be interesting. That would for sure be unique. A play-in game. Huh. Yeah, good stuff. I
like
feel
baseball.
Like this year we've been more and let's give a thumbs up to the podcast. I don't know if everybody watches it. But, I feel like more people are more active this year, especially on the chat. And so maybe we will see some, more talk right when the season ends and in the off season about some changes for the better a little bit. Huh.
Well, for me, a little bit of that's been because of COVID. So I'm hardly working at all. I'm working
that's true.
Basically 1 or 2 days a week.
Right.
And I don't work Sundays anymore. I used to always have to work on Sundays. So.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat because this is the first year in 12 years that I'm not coaching. So I have 2.5 hours of my life at minimum back, probably way more than that. So yeah, that's true too. Nice. All right, good stuff, man. All right, so matchup time, huh? Where do you think? Phill, you got anything? You want to start us off? You want to talk about starting at the bottom, mustache ... and individual one?
Yeah, that's works for me, man.
Sweet.
I didn't have a ton on the mustache side of things. I mean, he is in 12th place in our division, or in our league. The only thing I had to say is that maybe Brady will step up because he's playing against the guy that's kind of been proclaimed the new GOAT. You know, the guy who's going to take that crown, take that helm. So maybe Brady will take that as a challenge and step up. That was kind of the only thing I had really about Mustache. On individual one, he needs this win to keep that chance alive for that division victory. What's working at his side, he's got Aaron Rodgers, and typically Aaron Rodgers plays really well against Chicago. If you look over the years, he's had some really great games against Chicago, even when Chicago's had a good D like they do this year. And then, of course, he's got that Adams stack that we talk about every week. And so, of course, if Rodgers has a good game, pretty much means Adams is going to have a good game. And then I also point out Miles Sanders for him this week. Since he's been back these last 2 weeks, he's gotten 15-plus carries both games. He hasn't done a whole lot with those 15-plus carries, but I think he's got a lot better matchup this week. And if he gets 15 carries this week, I think he's going to put up 80-plus yards and find the end zone. So that would be obviously a very good game for Miles Sanders. And then he's just going to figure out who he's going to put in that spot that he currently has Burkhead in. So he's still projected to win by 60 points when he's got 0 points from one of his running back spots there. So he doesn't have much to sweat, but he should figure out somebody besides Burkhead for that second running back spot.
Right.
That's all I got on that match. But obviously, I'm picking individual one.
Drew, you want to jump in on anything with these two?
Sure. Like Phill said, I do like the Brady matchup. I think he plays Kansas City tough. I don't know, like maybe it is the motivation of playing against Mahomes, but it seems like he always plays really well against Kansas City. I like the Mike Williams pick. I don't know if he can swap out Darrell Henderson with somebody. I know he's been struggling and he's got a tough matchup this week. Other than that, Jonnu Smith maybe. I mean, I think you have to start that guy every week at this point, not on your bench. Individual one. I don't think he set his lineup yet, right? That's why he has Burkhead in because he's out, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll see what's that. It's a shame. I feel for Goody because he's had J.K. Dobbins on his bench. Well, maybe he started him here or there, but he's been saving him all year. He got a lot of carries last week, and Ingram looks washed up. So this was going to be the J.K. Dobbins week, and then like all the running backs get COVID for Mustache, except for Gus Edwards, who dropped to make room on his waivers. Anyway,
at least he got James White. He did get a good replacement, but
that's true.
He's going to drop somebody else.
Here's the thing. If I'm Mustache though, and maybe if you're Mustache and you have CD Lamb going on Thanksgiving, I'm putting the dude in just because I want to watch him play and have fun, like getting those points because the catches he was making last week and just having that's the focused national game that we're all going to be watching. I'd probably slide him into my lineup somehow. All right. So I think we're thinking Seth brings it home, but I don't know that it's that convincing.
I think it might be closer than it looks.
Yeah, me too. Right on. Drew, you want to start the next talk with Withers winners and Big Philly, or should we let Phill talk about his own? Sorry.
Right. Go ahead, Phill.
Phill, talk about yourself.
Oh, I love to talk about myself. Who doesn't? So actually, I love talking about myself a little more when I feel a little more confident. I don't have a lot of confidence right now. My team's just kind of run of the mill, I guess might be a really good description of what my team is right now. I'm at the point where I've gotten a little frustrated with the down season for Lamar. I did plug Hill in there. I think I'm going to stick with that and see what happens because he's kind of a boomer bust. So I got nothing to lose. So why not hope that, he comes in there and gets two running touchdowns and see what happens. I don't like Hopkins this week, unfortunately, even though he's pretty much my best player. He's been sick, not COVID. Been sick, but not COVID. And then even if he does play and is healthy, he's got Gilmore who's going to shadow him all game in New England. And then so my one big hope, this is what I've been saying for weeks, hopefully Chris Carson is back. Hopefully Chris Carson will play and be the Chris Carson that he's been when he's been healthy this year. So that's really I got my chips really in Chris Carson and a couple rushing touchdowns by Taysom Hill. If I can get a couple rushing touchdowns from those two players, I actually have a chance. But Withers, he's definitely got me beat at quarterback. He's got Russell Wilson, although Russell's been down the last couple weeks. And I think he's doing a travel across country too. There's actually a lot of those this week where West Coast teams are going to the East Coast. Might be something to kind of keep your eye on, because typically that's really rough on those West Coast teams to do that. He's got both Brown and Jones as receivers are both questionable. I don't think either one are serious, though. And then Aaron Jones is a tough matchup against Chicago. I do think if the Packers get it going, it's probably going to be more in the air than it will be on the ground. So he might have to have some concerns with a guy who's usually really steady for him there. But no, I think Withers will still get the job done, and I'll unfortunately fall 2 games under 500. But I got a chance with 16-point spread. It's doable.
Here's my question: Is this the kicker matchup of the year? We have Young Ho Koo, Mr. Zendejas against Studley Justin Tucker. Like, this is the prime time kickoff matchup. Get your popcorn out. Watch those kicks. You guys, I feel really bad. I feel bad for Withers. He made the big Tyler Boyd trade with you, Phil, and Tyler Boyd lost his quarterback. So that's a shame. Basically, that trade, it was a disaster for him. Now, it's funny because my Allen Robinson trade was a disaster too, because it cost me my victory and probably knocked me out of the playoff race. So those 2 big receiver trades at the deadline that Ryan and I both made are basically wastes.
I think it's your fault, because I think he only did that trade because you did the Robinson trade.
He had
no conversation until that happened.
It might have spurred it on. I don't know. I don't have confidence in Julio playing well. It's the hamstring. And so I think this game's going to come down to, does Carson play? Does Julio play? Is A.J. Brown healthy? Is Hopkins healthy? So this is, like, I don't know how to call this. Like, I think if Vegas was doing the odds for this matchup, there would be no line based on, like, the injuries right now. So I guess the last thing I'll say about it is I think Taysom Hill is way better than Drew Brees right now. He's a good Tim Tebow when Tim Tebow was in his prime. So I'm like pro Taysom. Anyway, like, I don't know how to call this because I don't know who's healthy. And I don't love Taysom Hill at Denver. Vic Fangio's a really good defensive coach. Hey, fellas, we have 8 minutes, so let's try and squeeze one more in, and then we'll do the last 3 and some trivia on part 2. Drew, we have Detroit Blizzard and Brigadier's Brigade. You want to talk about that one first?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'll be quick. I think Brigadiers is going to win this one. Herbert's on fire. I love that play. Buffalo's. I mean, I know there's a conception that Buffalo's defense is good, but I think they're like 27th in the league against the pass or something. They're bad, but yeah, I like Brigadiers in this one. He's got his team's rolling. What is it, 9 in a row now?
Yeah. Yep.
I believe.
I think so too. Yep.
He doesn't have.
Yeah. So I think he's going to end up getting number 10, but he does have some things to be worried about. So I kind of led into this earlier. This was the matchup that brought my attention to this, that there's a lot of West Coast to East Coast travel this week. Though Herbert is going cross country, Lockett is going cross country. Both of those you would think would be decent matchups, but when you take in the travel and how that sometimes plays out going west to east, that could be a situation where those guys maybe underperform. The only matchup that I think is maybe a plus matchup for him this week is Gibson against Dallas tomorrow. So if Gibson shows out in the national spotlight, that'd be an easy path to victory. The Blizzard, I like Carr's matchup against Atlanta, except for that it's in Atlanta. So again, you got that west to east travel. I'm not sure what he's doing with Patterson at one of his running back spots right now for Blizzard. He can go with Gore. I don't know if there's a way Ingram can clear COVID now that they moved the game back, but maybe, I don't know. The only matchup I really like for him is Jefferson against Carolina. I think that could be a spot where Jefferson could really show out and maybe kind of take the spotlight as the top rookie wide receiver on the season. But I think the big difference on this is going to be the defense. Brigadiers has the best defense in our league. He's got Roquan Smith, who's number 40. He's got Wilson, who's number 56. Sorensen, who's number 59. And Warner, who's 94. So 4 of his 5 starting defensive players are rated within the top 100. So I think that's a huge advantage for him. Yeah, Brigadier's going to extend that win streak to 10.
I'm with you guys. Pretty cut and dry. Brigadier's just finding touchdowns. Let's see. Randall Cobb just going on IR. I think that's only going to help Brandon Cooks and Will Fuller for Brigadiers. Antonio Gibson is finding the end zone. So I think he's got this one locked, and he stays hot, dude. He's a playoff worthy team, and he's going to be someone to reckon with for whoever makes the playoffs. All right, team. Hey, we're going to pause right here and then pick us up on part 2. Adios. I think I'm right.